All right, let's get right into it. Today we're going to connect one single dramatic volcanic explosion to a geological process so massive it's literally tearing an entire continent in two.
Imagine hearing that. That's how people, miles and miles away, described what happened in Ethiopia on November 23rd. But it wasn't a bomb. It was something that had been silent for a very, very long time.
This was the Ethiopia Volcano, and it was erupting for the first time in recorded history. I mean, just think about that for a second. 12,000 years of silence, just shattered in an instant.
And this wasn't just a little puff of smoke. We're talking an enormous ash cloud that shot 500 feet straight up into the sky. It was so huge, you could actually see it from space. And the sound? People apparently heard the blast from almost 200 kilometers away. Just incredible.
And get this wasn't just some local event. Its impact was felt literally across continents. The ash cloud got picked up by these high-altitude winds and went on this incredible journey over Oman, Yemen, all the way to Pakistan and India. It actually grounded flights in Delhi. And for good reason. You know, volcanic ash is basically tiny sharp particles of rock and glass, absolutely terrible for jet engines. So you hear about an explosion this powerful, and you immediately think the worst, right? A major catastrophe. But here's the crazy part. Not a single person was hurt. And the reason why comes down to one thing: location, location, location. You see, Hailey Gooby is smack in the middle of the Danakil Depression. And this place, it's one of the most extreme environments on the entire planet. It's brutally hot, it's actually below sea level, and it's famous for these surreal, almost alien-looking landscapes, these pools of yellow, green, and blue chemicals. It's beautiful, for sure, but is also very, very remote.
Okay, so this brings us to the million-dollar question, right? After being asleep for longer than we've even had agriculture, why would this volcano suddenly and so violently wake up now? Well, the answer isn't just about this one volcano. It's about the very ground it's sitting on. Think of the eruption as a warning shot, a sign of a much, much bigger story that's unfolding deep beneath the surface.
And here it is. The entire African continent is slowly being ripped in two. And this volcano? It's right at the heart of that split.
Okay, so geologists have a name for this spot. It's called the Afar Triple Junction, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You've got three huge tectonic plates, the Nubian, the Somalian, and the Arabian, all meeting at this one point. But here's the thing, they're not crashing into each other. They're all pulling away from each other. There's this incredible heat rising from the Earth's mantle that's basically pushing the crust up and tearing it apart.
But this junction, as crazy as it is just one piece of a way bigger puzzle. It's part of this colossal crack in the Earth's crust called the East African Rift System. We're talking a 6,000-kilometer-long scar that runs all the way down the eastern side of Africa, from the Red Sea down to Mozambique. It's huge.
Yeah, you can think of it like a continental divorce, and it's been going on for millions of years. But even though it's happening on this geological timescale that's hard to wrap your head around, we are absolutely seeing the effects in real time.
So, you're probably wondering, how fast is this actually happening? Well, scientists figure it's moving apart at about 2 to 5 centimeters a year, which sounds impossibly slow, right? But to give you some perspective, that's pretty much the same speed that your own fingernails grow.
But, and this is a big but, don't let that slow speed fool you. The overall process might be gradual, but the way all that built-up stress gets released, that is anything but slow. It happens in sudden, violent bursts.
And we are seeing those bursts happen right now, in our lifetimes. Back in 2005, a massive 60-kilometer-long crack just ripped open the desert in Ethiopia in just 10 days. Then in 2017, the nearby Erta volcano blew. And now, Hailey Gooby. See, these aren't just random events. They're all symptoms of the same gigantic continental breakup.
In fact, this whole process has been shaping the continent for millions of years. A lot of Africa's most famous landmarks, I'm talking Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Kenya, the Great Lakes like Tanganyika and Malawi, they were all created by the incredible geological forces of this exact same rift system.
So what's the big takeaway from all of this? I think it's that the eruption of this volcano that was dormant for so long, it's not just a random news story. It's a really powerful reminder about the planet we're all living on. It really all boils down to this. You've got this super slow, continuous process, these massive plates pulling apart at the speed of your fingernails. But that slow stretching builds up an unbelievable amount of tension, and that tension has to go somewhere. It gets released in these sudden, violent moments: earthquakes, giant cracks in the ground, and volcanic eruptions. They're really just two sides of the very same coin.
Look, the eruption of Haile Gubi is like a message sent from deep inside the Earth. It's a reminder that our planet isn't some static rock. It's a living, breathing, constantly changing world. And that kind of leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? What other huge, colossal changes are happening right now, completely unseen, right beneath our very